Hey, that guy is the number. And what number? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else you got going on?
Actually, nothing.
There you go. Yeah, they're feeling all right. Well, I got a doctor change and give me some other stuff, and I'm like, okay. So, just, hey man, I'm looking for some answers, but I'm dealing with it, coping with it. So I just spent yesterday. And I had a doctor's Wednesday. He took me out to fight. See how this works.
I love it. Yeah,
It's good to go whenever they're ready to come in. Oh yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah. I have maybe
es que lo quieren arreglar.
get the top of him, but out there, he's no longer with his wife. He's got another. Wow. Wow. Apparently not. Whoa. Can you imagine it? Is it? No. Wow.
They only went halfway through. You guys see your rich, there you go.
How old is he now?
But
I thought he was probably like 10 years old. He might be, I don't know. 9 or 10 years old. I know a little bit. He's got a few kids. So.
All right, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome here to Keystone Coin. This is our weekly Thursday evening auction. My name is Ron. If you have any issues, let us know. We'll do what we can to get you back on track, all right? Do keep in mind, everything we auction is sold on lien sale paperwork, unless we take otherwise, in which case it would be a title or perhaps a selling thing. Cards that come in with keys, we do not charge for those, but if you have to make a key in order to start a vehicle, why that key charge should be printed out there on your list. And I'll do my best to remind you what that key charge is, because I will be adding on to the purchase price, okay? We do not guarantee the rate, the model year, the color, or anything else, so what you see is what you get. That's why we have inspection time for you to come in, take a look, and make an informed decision as to what you wish to pay. All right? Now, we do not have any 10-day holds today, so everything's a short thing, but I go out the door. All right? When you take your car out, make sure you take it all the way to your shop or to your home. Don't unload trash and leave it on the street here. There's too many complaints from other businesses up and down the street here. There's all kinds of cameras here, so see here, yes, sir. Number 30, I think. 30, yeah, that's right, 30. Okay. All right. Guys, when you say sold my car, you need to stand up, come up to the window where you're registered, and complete that transaction, okay? You can't get your car tonight, don't panic. Okay, we'll leave it at 12 noon tomorrow to get your vehicle out. If you leave here past 12 noon tomorrow, there will be a penalty fee equal to a day's worth of storage and such to you, okay? Look at this one. Tough right, the change here. Wow. Okay. All right. I think we're good to go, guys, so let's, rock and roll and get it on. Number one is almost 70 on the east side. Hey, I've got 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 75. How about 475? I'm gonna go 475, 75. Here, quarter, where you need a quarter, here, quarter, two, a quarter, time, and a half. And then 75, give us 76, my quarter, here, you quarter. 6 1/4, quarter, here, 6 1/4, and a quarter, here, 6 1/4, and a half, where it's a kind of 75. I'm at 75, come on, guys, let's go. I'm at 675, go 7, 700, go 77, what do you say, quarter? I'm at 7 1/4, need a quarter, what do you say, 7 1/4? I'm a quarter, now 715, go 50, 50, and 57, I'm at 50. And at 50, and 50, and we sold a time, 7, hang on the quarter, online for 7 1/4. All right, let's see here, here's number 2, here we go, number 3, oh yeah, hold on. I have $30 piece on it, Jesus. That's right, and drives, going on, how many minutes, every night. Hey, over by the 100, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and 75, over 75, and 5, and a quarter, 5 1/4 on site, now half. And 50, 50, you're getting sure, half, now 75, now 6. About 600, over 600, no, a quarter, 6 1/4, 6 1/2. About 50, now 675, 7. And a quarter, and a half, 7 1/2, 7 1/2, 75. About 75, 8, now a quarter, 8 1/5, 8's the money. About 8 1/5, 8 1/5, we're right here, 8 1/2, 8 1/2, your turn, half. And 75, we're gonna go 75, no 9, 900, no 9, 9. About 9 to 9, here you guys are both out. About 9 here, 9 to 9, 59. What? Now quarter, and a quarter here to 6. A quarter, half. Give me half. 9 1/2, he's 9 1/4. But 950, 50, 950, 950, 50, 50, and I sold the pen for 925, 925. Got a number on the other side here, what's the number? Number 98, 98 is, so I know. We're 27, 50, and 37, and 84, straight over right here, those sounds, salvage table counties, 840%, over the time. I got down to go. You want 1,000? 8, 9. I got 9 here now, 1,000. And I down to go, 1,000 to go and a half, 1,000, half. I got half. You said 1,000 over here, 1,050. And the 50, 50, 1,000 here, a quarter, now half. That's 75. Now that's 75, now 11, 1,100, and a quarter, 11's on site, 11 a quarter, now half. That's 75, 11.75. That's 75, 1200, decline, and a quarter. And a quarter, quarter here, 12 1/2, now 75. But 75, 13, 13, and a quarter, what do you say? And a half, 13, about 50, 50, 50, 50, 75. But 75, yes, sir. Now 14, 14, no half. About a half, 14, out of 50, 50, 50, and 50 now, 15, now, 15, 50 minus 15. About 15, out of 50, 15, out of 50, 50, yes or no, 15, out of 50, and I sold the 10. 1,500, what about number 8? Number 4 cars, 16 to your deal cars, on a minute, what do you do? I got down to go, where how the bus?
About 6.
6, that's it, okay. I got 7. I got 7, 7, go 7, go 7, 2, half, now 7, 7, 6 1/2, 6 half. I'm at 675, okay, fine, I'm at 7 1/4. And the 47 here, the quarter, I'm at 7 1/4, what do you say? I'm at 7 1/4 here, and now it's 75, I'm gonna go 75, 775. I'm at 775, I'm gonna go 75, and we 75, 8. 800 this there, 75 standing up, 8 online, not for. And that's over Virginia half. I'm at 8 1/2, and then 75, we 75, 900 here. I get 9, that's over, that's only 5 1/2. I'm at 950 now, 75 here, pounds and dollars. And now quarter, Virginia, now 950. And now 75, I'm gonna go 75, 11, give me 11. And now quarter, what's the busy for, 11 1/4, now half. 11 1/2, 75, 11.75, now 12. How about 12? You gotta get 12 under here, leave a quarter, how about 4 1/4, half? 12 1/2, and 75, you gotta get 75, 13. 13 and a half, 13, 50, and 14, you gotta go 14, give me 14 and a half. and 15, give me 15. I do. 15 and a half, and now 16. But 16, 1, 15 and a half, 16 here, 8 and a half, 16, 50. And the 50, 50 right there outside, now 17, we go 17 and a half. How about a half, 17 and a half, return. How about a half, 18, how about 1800, 18, no half, 18, 50, and 19, we go 1900, 19, what do you say? How about 19, 19, 19, and I, 19, no half. Got a half, 19, 50, 50, 50, 50, and we have silver tag, 1900 online, for number 5, here comes 15. On the additional extra card, right? For okay, here's this one. He said 5, 6. I got 607. You gotta go 7, 6, 7, 7, 6 and a half, now 7. How about 7 here, 7 clear, 75, now 7, now 40, now half. I got a half and 75, I need a quarter, now half, 75, now quarter, half. And 1,000, now half, you need half, 11, now half, here, 1150. And here, now 13. How about 13, now half, and a half, 14. How about 14? How about 14? Now high, 14 kind of 50. And now 15, gotta go 15, because wood, now high, and 16, and a high, 17. How about 17? That's a car, 17. And now a high, and now 18, 18, and a high, and 19, and a high. How about a high, 19, 50, still nice of a car. How about 1950, 50, and 50, and we, now 2 grand. How about there we go, have a little 80 bit here, 19 and a half, 2 grand. How about we're gonna get 2 grand over so that we will be for 1950 online. There we go. All right, number 6, here comes on the lead. I get those wrong, on the money, 50%. Hey, here we go, to the final time. I got down to go, he said, 84, pound beer, 6 square. How about 600, how about a half, now 6, now a half. How about a half, he's in the 6, 7, 800 here, now 8, now a half. And a half here, a quarter, now half. And a half here, 20 pounds here, 850, 850, again, 8 and a half, no, 8 and a quarter. 8 and a half, now we 75, 900 here, now 9. And now a quarter, now a half, and a half, now 50. And a 50 got 9, now 75, now 75, 75,000, now 1,000, and a quarter. And a quarter, Tim's over here. About 10 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, down to we have silver tag. Or 1,000 even, 1,000 even. So what you're doing there? 8. Here we go, number 7. 57 is 23. Right, for a hundred minutes, people say the minutes, people run it, what do you say? You put a time out. I got time to go, 4, 1.5 times, 5 here, 75. 475 pounds, 500 dollars to 5, I have 475. I'll say, yes, sir. And 5, how about 5 and a 5, 5 and a back, are you ready, sir? You got 5 on line, quarter, I can't tell if you're standing now, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half, and 75, now 6. 6, now a quarter, now a half, 6 and a half, 75, and 7, and a quarter, 7 and a half, 15, gonna go 50, 50, now 75, and 80, $100, not quarter, about 825, and a half, and now we 75, 99, 900, 999, not quarter, and a half, I'm up, and a half, here's the whole car, and a half, about 950, 50, 950, 950, 50, anybody else? Now 75. How about 75? 175, minus 9.5, 975. How about 75, 75, here we have silver tag. 950 in the back there. There was 88. 88. Okay. All right, here's number 8. Here's number 8. For automatic schedule around here, we would have $900. $500, $500, 4.5, 5. I get 5.5, 5.5, and 6, maybe 6. And then 6.5, 650 here, and 7, 7. And 700, 750. And 50 perfect, and the front 8 here now, and 850 over the 8. Oh, come on, 8 and a quarter. And a half. And a half. You're too slow, so 6, 8 and a half, 875, 9, about 9, and a quarter, 925, and a half, 950, And the 50, 925, 50, now you're still slow. 9.5, 975, 75,000, and 1,000. And you gotta get you a cup of coffee, you gotta do it. $975,000 here, $1,000 go 1,000, 1,000 goes solitary right there. For 975, 975. I got a number there. Say, no, what's your number? Hey, Mr. Dodger, what's your number? Uh, Right, and then, hey, totally, they're done, for the government, they get one, who are up here. They got what, 4.5, I'm not 5, I'm gonna go 5 where, 75, not 5. I'm not 5, I'm not 5, so go 5, we're gonna go 5, we're gonna go 5, and then we got a quarter. And the older guy, he's 75, 75. But 75, on each count I have on site, 570 on the line, 6, and a quarter, a quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6.5. But a half, 650, 50, I go 50, no, 75, I go 75, 675. And now 700 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, 7's over here. 7 and a quarter, 8.5, 750, 75. 75, 800, and now 8, now a quarter. And a quarter, 8's on site, 8 and a quarter. 8 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here. 8.5 over here now, 75. But 875, 875. 875, there we go. Silver time on site. 8 out of 50, now I put on number 8. Here's number 10, here comes number 5, that's it. Right, so we'll go from rather than shaded on here, it makes up. Maybe 5, there's another 3, 4, 5. How about 5, 5.5, now 6. How about 6, here goes 600 here, 650 here, and 7.5. How about 7.5 here, 8 in the back, and now 9, 800 now. I got a 100 here, 50, 50, like 50, $1,000 now. I got a 100 now, 11 now, 11 and a half, get 12, $100. I'm at 12, 11 and a half here, I need 12. I'm at 12, 11, 75, 75, 75, we have somewhere 10. 4, 11, 50, 11, 50, 96 is on there, 90 is number 11. After I see them, here's, so they get me, here, this is it, and do that, what I do. Hurry up, like, here's 5.25, 5.5. I got 550, now 75, here goes 75, 76, not far. I have 6 on site, 6 and a quarter. I'm at 6 and a quarter, okay, 6.5, 75, 7 and a quarter. I'm 7 here, 7 and a quarter, guys, 7 right here, how about 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we have now half. A half, 75, now 8, 800 and a quarter, 825, 8's right here, how about a quarter? How about quarter and a quarter and a quarter, now half, 8.5, 850, now 875, now 9, 900. How about 9 and a quarter, 925, we gotta go 25, 9's over here. How about 9 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we quarter, and a half, and a half. How about 50, 50, 50, can't wait, doing that, I'm gonna 50, 50, and I'm gonna sell it, Mr. LA, 925, 925. Number, what's your number? These numbers are 99, all right, number 99. Let's see, 80 bucks on key charge here now, the smell of those wrong, Ryan's and Drive, 4-door, automatic, straight to the right, we put on the side. I got down to go, you want 1,000, 11, 12. 12, 13. How about 13? What do you got? 13. Now, ladies, 13, 14. How about 14, 14, 15? We're gonna go 15. How about half? 14, 50. 14's over here. I do 1,450, 50, 1,450, 15, 15 down here. All right, here, 15, 15, 15, 15. I get 14 and a half, 15. We're gonna go 15. How about 1575? No, so we bought yeah, 1450, 1450, number 167. 13, 13, 70, Right, here's, lucky 13. This is the other side. On the next, is a month. I put it right here, these are 33 and a quarter. 475, 500, 475, 5, 550, when you see, 550, and that's 75, it was 75, wake up, miss. I got 75, say that, 600. How about say it's now a quarter, 6 and a quarter, quarter, 6 here, quarter here, half here, now 75, and 7. How about 7, we're gonna go 700, 675 is on site. How about 7 here, 8 and a quarter, 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half. How about half, 750, 7 and a quarter over here, I have online now, 75. 775, 800. How about 800, 800 and a quarter, 825, there's a 25, 800 here. How about 8 and a quarter, and a quarter, yes, sir, solar time. $800, 106. 100, right here, car, 14. Here comes the camper car, 100, I'll tell you what, it'll run, it'll be 800. How about making a bucks? I got 3 and a half, 4, and 4, and now I have, and now 5, and now 6, here, 600, 76. How about 6, not quarter? How much quarter at quarter? Now half, and now 75, we go 75, 7. Now a quarter, 7, quarter, 7, 2, quarter, now half. How about half, here you both off. How about 7, how about 50, 75, here go 75, wrong side, 7, half here. How about 75, here go 75, 75. How about 75, 75, and we have silver time straight away for 750 is number 102, 102. All right, 400, we're gonna give you, what happened there? You said 3 and a quarter. I got a half and a 4, the 4, here, you're 75, 4, and a 4, 375, you got 4? How about 400, 400, 4, and a quarter? I got 4 here, 4 and a quarter, and a half. 4 and a half. 450, 4 and a quarter, 450, 50, and I sold it 10. It's already gone. So, now, come on, wake up, I'm sorry. You're up there, 6, about, okay? Here's number 16. You guys are on your phones trying to bid like that, and then, sometimes it's detrimental to your health. Yeah. Here we go. Here's number 16, 25, forward focus tire. All right, 400, take it again, everybody, 100. Oh my gosh, that's good fine. How about 4, 5? I got 5, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, here, a quarter, now half. I got a half, he said over here, yes, sir. Now half, 75, 6. How about 600? You're gonna be saying you can talk that out. How about 600 and a quarter, 50, quarter, and a half, 650. And up 50, 50, right there, 75, gonna go 75, 7. How about 7, we said, quarter, here, need a quarter, now half. How about 7 and a half, here's a quarter, half, here's 75. How about 75, 75, now we 800. How about 8 bucks? I'm looking at what's in the over 825, 8 online, 8 and a quarter. 8 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, here you go, solar tank. $800, number 60. There, right here. Here's number 5 on the center card. Here, 30 bucks to keep our guys, this one, I'm saying, wow. Hey, it is 800. 4, 5. Half, and a half, that's 6, and a half, and a half, that's 7, and a half, and 8, 8 and a half, 8 and a half, and 9 and a half, and 1,000, and 1,000, and 9 and a half. How about 100, easy one. How about 50, 50, 50 quarter, everything. How about 10 and a quarter, even half, now 75, 75, 11, not quarter, not a quarter, 11 here. 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half. 11 and a half, he's not big. I have 11 and a quarter, 11 and a half. You got a half? I got 11 and a quarter here, 11 and 50, 50, 50, 50, and 9, so 50 here, 75. 75, 11 and a half, 11, 75, 12. How about 12 there, 12 another 12? How about 12 there, 12 down there, 1200, 1200 down here, we're going to summertime for 1175, number 8 is winter. That's a lot, I was to 50. Yes, sir. $4 an hour, tell you what, we'll scratch my right hand there. And they define who up to that, center that all right, he who got 300, 900. I agree, I really have, quarter, nine. I got 100, on the left start, 850, 175. Number 75, nine, not quarter, not quarter, not 150, 950, nine quarters on the side. Number 950, 50, 950, 950, sort of thing. 925, number 8 is 100, right? There's a, something that's 250 miles. No, maybe comment, two, four, every number, what do you say, guys? Maybe give me 1,000. Number 5, I got 3. Seven, eight, nine. I got 9 here, 9, half, 9. That makes it 9, no half. I got a half, 9's on site, 9.5. How about quarter? How about another quarter, and the quarter, and the quarter, and the quarter, down here, we're going to sell a thing. For 900, 900, 953, what's the number there? Number 110, 110, it's a 95 zero business card. Who wants to call? Let's not keep it. We're good.
I got a $200.
You got two of the card. How about you're gonna call the two here, you're gonna call the, you're gonna call the, two side of that, you're gonna call it half. I got you, now got 50, 1975, 1975, 3. How about 3, you said you got 3, you got quarter here, 3 and a quarter, 3 here, 3 and a quarter, and a half. How about 3, now got 15, I got 50, right now, 75, here's 75. How about 375, we're gonna go 75, here's the solid here. 350 should buy your number 6, number 6. For 21, 05, minus 6. For automatically, what, 7. I get the 43.5. They're gonna have 50, 15, you're gonna have 50, 3 quarters over here. 350, 350, 50, they're gonna have now 75, 4. 400, now 4 here, 50, you're 50, 50, now 75, 5. Round quarter here, need a hand, 50, what do you say, now 75, and 6. How about 600, now 46, 46, how about 15, you're gonna go 50, 50, 650, what do you say, 650 others? How about 650, and I'm going to sell it time for 625, number 4 is Meyer, here, 2000. The country car. Also sounds like that. Nobody can play the palm 3.5, 4. I got 4 now half. I got a half of no time. I got 5.5. 5.5, 6. I got 6. I'm at 75. I'm gonna go 75. At 75, I'm 5.5 here. I got 75. 6 on site. Now quarter. And the quarter here, one is over here, 6, 6 and a quarter, 8.5, that's 75. That's 75, we're gonna go 675 on site, 6.5 here. About 675, 675, and now 7, and a quarter, and a quarter, you can make it 7, 7 and a quarter. About 7 and a quarter, need a quarter, what do you say, 7.25, and now a half, and a half, 7.5, 7.5, okay. And 75, we're gonna go 75, on the 7.5, 75. How about 775, we're gonna go 75, and we sort of thing over here for 750, 750, and we're 93, 23 and 26. It's a sign, that's key out of that. It does, we're gonna find 2 on side. How about down here, 4, 4 and a quarter, 4.5, half, 75. We said that 4 is 75, 4.5 here, 5, not quarter, no half. How about a half here now, 75, 75, 6. Half at 6, half quarter, 6 and a quarter, 6 on line, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, now half, 650. How about 650, 50, 650, okay, now 75, here we go. How about 675, 75, we're gonna go 675, 75, here we sold the tank. 650 online, okay, we have. Right, 4.5 minutes, what do you do now? Somebody get. 4, 3, 4. 5 and 6, that's even better, 2 and a quarter. What do you say? 650, 625. How about 650, silver time, 625, number 6 is winner, and here's number 20, 25. It's a machine, CLS by 59. Somebody give you pound time. How about 1,000 to go? You can fix it. How about 1,000, you got 1,011. How about 11, 10, 11. How about 11, 11, half, 11, half. How about 11 and a half? I got 11 here, 11 and a half. What do you say? What do you say? How about quarter? My quarter here, soda tank. Line for 1,100. Right here, number 5, James C. Larry. And on that then, that the third month, another man, so the comment, he says two, I got four and a quarter. I'm a 4 and a quarter, just like 3 and a quarter and a half, 450. And I 50 for the 4.5, 75. I was 75, that comment, I read there, he commented, what do you say, online, 475. How about comment, you're fine, you're silver thing. 475, online, here's number 47, is a 13. I understand, okay, that's one of our, should have gone, give me that. How about down to go here? Right. How about down to go? 4, 5, 8, 9. I got 9 here and a half. No 9 and a half. 1,000 and a half. And 11. How about 11 and a half? 11 and a half. 11's here. 11 and a half. And 12. How about 12 and a half? 12, 15, 13, not 15. You're going to go 50, 13, 50, 14. And 50, 14, 50. Over here, 14. How about 14, 15, 15? You're going to go 15, no high. And 16, no high. How about 16, 50, 16 over here? How about 16, how about 50? Is that yes? No 17? How about 17? You're going to go 17, 16 and a half. How about 17, 17, here we go, we soda time for 1650 in the back there. I hear 6 Mercedes E350 for everybody guys, they're gonna give you about how much? About 800. 6 and a quarter, 6.5. 6.50, 75. How about 75? We're gonna go 75, 700, we're gonna go 7 now, 675 here, I need 7. How about 7 and a quarter, on side at 7 and a quarter. 5 quarters, no, 75, we're gonna go 75. How about 75, 775, 7.5 inside. How about 75, 75, and we have solar tank for 750, we'll put on number 8. Maybe you can catch on. See what we have here. There it is. Hey, now the 174, that's one. All right, we're going on right, so the right, he just what, right, here, nice and dry, wow. Here we go, over the house, that's what we're 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8. I'm at 800, 8 and a half, and 9. I'm at 900, 900 here now, 1,000. And 1,000 to go. Now half here, half now 11. I have 10 to have over here and 11. I get 75. Now 11. Now a quarter. I'm a quarter and a quarter here, half over here. Not 50 now, 75, 75. And then come on, good, that's fine, and a quarter. I'm not going to quarter, but here, quarter half. I'm at 15, 75, there go 75, plus 75, and 13, 13, a quarter, and a quarter, he's 13, 13, a quarter. I'm a quarter, they're out, 50, 25, and we have quarter half, got another lady in here, quarter half, that's 75. I'm at 75, we're gonna go 75, on site, 13 and a half, but come on, we got 1375, and 14. And 14, money's here, 1375, 14, and we're gonna sell it to her for 1375 online, okay? And here's number 30, here comes an 07. All right, for the 100 minutes, we're gonna write it down, some of all the good stuff in there too, check it out. Hey, who about 1,000? Let's see, I've got 3.5, 4, 75, 4. I'm up over here, for my number 3, 75, 4, but over down here, we have silver time. 3, 75, high, number 6. There's 31, come on. Let's say, so, half pound. Right, then running strong, some recovery here. Somebody give me 10%. I'm a time to go. That's an issue.
How about 9 1/4?
9, 25, 50, not 1,000. 75,000, not half. How about a half, 11, 10 and a half years, 75, 11. How about 11, 1100? Site and a quarter. How about quarter? 11's over here. How about 11 1/4? And a quarter, and a quarter down here, down here, side. Okay, no, 11 and a half. See? No, 75. How much? 11 and a half. 11.75. 11 and a half on site. 11.75, 75, and we sold the 10. 11.50, 11.50 kilowatts. Number 69 to 5, 69 to 5. All right, here's number 32. Here's an O2 right here. So the line give me 1,000. How about time to go? 3, 4.
475.
4, 5, 4.5 and 5.5 and 6. How about 6? Maybe 5.5 here. I need 6. How about 6? Maybe 75. We're gonna go 75, 75, 75. Then we have silver 10. For 5, 50. It's gonna go on fire. Number 8, 8, 5. 5. All right, 400 page 77. So what do you say? I think we were at 800. How about 800? 2, 2 1/4, 3, 3 and a half on the 4, 4 and a half. I got 4 outside, 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter. I'm up to the 40, and the 40, and the 40 down here, the 40 down here now, half here, 75. I'm at 75, 475, each 4 and a half. I'm at 475, over 75, 75, 500 and a quarter. I'm at 5 and a quarter, we're back on 75, 5 and a quarter. No, I'm at 5 and a quarter. And now I have 5 and a half, 75, it goes 75, by 75, I'm at 5 and a half. I'm at 575, I'm at 575, I'm at 6, 6 and a quarter. I'm at 6 and a quarter. I use 6 and a quarter, he first, 6 and a bit, 6 and a quarter. I'm at 6 and a quarter, here we sold 10 outside. Yeah, 600 dollars for number 4, number 4, 34 sell. Mercedes, she 30 high. Right? And then straight right here, 800. How about 800 bucks? How about 400 bucks on that one? He said 3 and a half. I got 3 and a half, 4 and a half, and finally, we're going to 75 high. I'm going to give you a quarter, 5 and a half, 75. How about 75? We're going to go 75, 75. 75 said, 86. How about 6? Now we found 75, 6. How about 600? 600, and we sold it. 575, number 6 is on there. Here's 35. Here's an old 5. First, I got a 2 model, right? For about a minute, 80 bucks for the feature. I got down to go. 3 and a quarter. I have 3 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, and a half, and a half, 75. How about 75? You saw it after your 75, 6. How about 6 and a quarter? How about 6 and a quarter? 6 over here. How about 6 and a quarter? 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter. Down here we have sort of time. 600 and another, and we're going to put on number 8, 8, 5, 36 is 06. Right? 400, hey, guess what? It's hey, yeah, how about 400 bucks? He said 3 and a quarter. How about 3, 5, 5 and a half, no, 6, 75, 6. How about 6, 6 and a quarter. How about quarter, 6 over here, 6 and a quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we're going quarter, now half. Now 75. How about 75? On site, 6 and a half. How about 675, 675, 675? Here we have sold it for $650, $650 from 90 higher. Here's number 37, I'll see. How about 800 bucks? 3 and a quarter. A quarter pound. I got 350, 3 quarters here, 350, and 50, 300, I do half now, 75, 4. How about 400, 400, 4 now, half, and 4 quarters on site, 450, online, and 75, 500, give me 5. How about 5, and a quarter, and a half, 5 and a half, we're back on site, 5 and a quarter. How about 50, okay, now 75, 600, Number 6, now 40, now half, 650, now 75, and 7. Number 7, 37, and a quarter, now half. Number half, 750, now 75, $800. Number 8, how much? And a quarter, and a half. 8, number 50, and the 50, and 75, and 9, $800, here's a whole bag, and a quarter, 9, 0, 9, and a quarter. Number 9, a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, here's the sugar tank. 900, number 6 is about there. That lady, yeah, hey, guys, I need you to come up with a line. This is 38, here's an 3, 4 exclamation guys, right? 4 and 500 friends, here we go. Hey, you got about 800, hey, stretch it up. I got 3, I got 7, 7 and a half, 8, see, I told you, it's 7 and a half, 8. How about 800? You want to go 8? How about 75? No, it's still the tank. 750, we're going to number 6, higher, here's 39, model, so smart car. I ready to go, we're going to good, that's economy ride. I got 3. Now, but quarter, and a half. I got a half, I got a 50, 75, 4, 5 and a half. I got a half for your 6, how about 6, each 5 and a half, 6. And a half, 6, I can't see. 6 and a half, okay, 6 and a half. 6 and a half, 6 and a half, no 7, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, now 8. How about 800? One is over here, 7 and a half, 8. How about 8, 75, now 8, $800, now 8, 775, 8. How about 8, 38 and a quarter. And a quarter, I got 8 on side, yes sir. 8, 25, okay, and a half. How about 50, 8, 25 here, 8, 50. 8, number 13, now 75, and 9, 900. How about 9? Yes, it is. How about 900? And we sold it for 875. Here we go. 40. Here's an old 6. Number 9, set it around here. What do you say? How about 5? How about 5, 6, 7? How about 7, 6, 7, 6, 7? If you could give me half on time, 6 and a half, quarter. How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, quarter is not half. I have a quarter here. You got a half, and a 75, and 7. How about 7, you got 7, you got 7 and a quarter, quarter, and a half. How about a half? We 7 and a quarter on site. How about 7, kind of 50, and a 50, and a 50, 57, kind of 50, and we 7. Well, 7 and a quarter, and look about number 4, number 4, number 4. 3 dollars. It's a half on that. Right there it is. Right to go right at finish. Here, 800. How much are you about 3 and 4? 4 and a half. I got 6 and a half and 7 and a half. And a half. And 8 and a half. And 9. 9 and a half. And 1,000. And 1,000. And a 975 here. $1,000 here. 1,000, no quarter. A quarter half, and no 75. About 1075, 10 and a half over here. About 1075, 1075, 75, 11, 1100, no quarter. A quarter, no half, 11 and a half, 75, and 12. About 12, 1200, no quarter, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half. And a half, middle single, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 1250, 50, and 50, and we now 75. And 13. About 13 and a quarter, 13 cheers, 13 and a quarter. About 4 and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we're going to sell it, and a couple for 1,300, 1,300, you know what you know? Want to heard of it? It was, 90 is my right here. All right, guys, we go, all the men, shake it on, over the pound time. I got time to go. 5, 6, 7, 8, half, 8. I need 7 and a half, I'll take 800, 800, 7 and a half, take 8, 75. No? So, that's 750.
750 and number 10.
Number 10, you got it. Here's number 43. Here's a 73. Hey, Jim Shima, all the guys, right? No. Yeah. Here we go, guys. I've got 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. 75 forward, but 4, and go forward. That's what 13 and a quarter, half, 75, 5 and a quarter, and a half, and 75. How about 75? By 75, 600, give me 6. How about 6? What do you say? 570 6, not quarter, not high. How about a high? 650. How about 650 and 75? Wrong side, 6.5. 675. How about 675? Gotta go 75, 675, and now 7. And now 7, not quarter. I 7 here, need a quarter, guys, quarter. Now, how about a half? 7 half. How about 15? You're gonna go 50, 15, and 50 here, and be silver tank. 7 1/4 online. Right here's number 44, 99. All right, we don't have a minute, so we're on 800. How about the quarter? How about the quarter? 3 quarter, where? How about 5, 75, now 5. How about 5, 475, keep 5. How about 5, get down to the present, we're gonna go find here's silver tank, 475, this is, there, here's. Yeah, this is, oh, that's kind of nice. All right, what do you say? Who will find? Oh, Mr. Clare, sit down. How about 5? That's your chart. He said 5. You 5? How about a half? I got 8, 8.5, 9. I got 9 in my hand. Where to go? Can't see him. 9.5. And now 1,000, 1,000, now half. How about a half? No 11. How about 11? 11.5. 11.5. 12. 12. 12.5. How about 12.5? 13. 13. Money's 12.5. 13. I got 13. No half. A quarter and a half. And no 75. How about 75? One side 13.5. How about 75? We're gonna go 13, 75, now 14, 14, a quarter, and a quarter, on side again at 14, how about 14 and a quarter, and a quarter here, my silver tank at 1400, 1400, numbers 1 5, Tia, 14, guys, right, on the letter, 40, yeah, probably not much, but the Google there. 85, they would have been down 1,000. He said 4.5, 5. How about 5? How about 5? 5, now half. Look at that side, yes, sir. How about 5.5? The quarter, now half. That's 75. How about 75? How about a half here? 75, 6, and a quarter. And a quarter, 6 over here, 6 and a quarter, quarter, now half. That's 75. How about 75? 675 cents, 700 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter? Need a quarter, 1 now a half, 7.5, 75. How about 75, 75, 80 on site, now a quarter, and a quarter, and now a half, 8.5, 875, 875, 875, 875, 875, 75, here, and I have silver tank, $850 for number 4, number 4, 27, that's a 85, that's our model, 400 minutes to the run it. Okay, fine, how about 5? That's fine. How about 5 with a bunch? 5, I got 3.
How about 650?
6, 6.5. 6.5, 7. How about 7? How many 6.5, 7? 600 plus 7. How about 7? We're gonna go 7, 9, 8, and a quarter. And a quarter, one sided set. How about 7 and a quarter? How about 7 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, 9, quarter down half, and 75. How about 75? 7.5. 7.75. How about 7.75, 75, 75, 9, silver tank. 750, number 4 is my 48, no 5, 4. See if the 45 truck here, okay? Yeah, 400, so they're not, what about 1,000? How about 1,000? 5?
3.
No,
No.
5, 5.5.
got
Going up,
6.
not down, I got 6, 6.5. I got 6 on mine, 6.5, 6 and a quarter, 6.5.
7.
I got 7, 7 and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter, 7.5? And now 75, 75, 75, 8, 800, how many 7, 75, 8 and a quarter, and a half. How about 15, 75, you're gonna go 75, 900, and a quarter here, and a half. How about 100, 75, and now 1,000. And a quarter, and a quarter, now a half, 1,050, and a 50, 50, 150, 150, 50, 50, and we have silver tank for 1025 online here. 14, this is their image, okay? Sugar on the minute, sugar on the All right, take a chance. All right, go about 1,000. 9, 1,000, 11. How about 11 here, 11 here, 12 here, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16. Gotta be 16, gotta be 16, 16, 17. How about 17, now 18, gotta go half, 18, 18 and a half, and 19 and a half, and 2 grand, we're gonna get 2, go see, 2,000, now half, now 1, and 1, 21, 21, each one is 50, 21, 21, now half, and now 2, now half, now 3, 23, 23, now half, 23 and a half, 23, 50, 24, and now 50, 24, 50, now 25, and 50, 25, 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, 25 and a half, now 26, and now 26 and a half. How about 26 and about 50, 26 over here, gonna have, is that yes, okay, 27, now half. How about 27 and a half, 27, 50, he must like the color. I got a half, now 8, how about 28, 28, he's 27 and a half here, 28 there, now half, 28 and a half. He still likes that color, 28, 50. And up 50, 50, up 59, here, 29 over here, now half, now 3. Number 3, number 3, you want to go 3 grand, now half, and a half, 3,000 here, you always have. Number 3,000 to 50, you're gonna go 50, 50, 3,000 to 50, and 50, and we have summertime for 3,000 even, 3,000 even, now you can. So, here it comes, all right, so you just, number 50. That's a nice motorhome out there, guys. All right, who needs a house on wheels? 1,500?
Nice shot.
Hey, what can I say? How much?
I got
250 online. The 3? I got 3, now 50. So you're gonna have 4, you want 4? And a half, 4 and a half, 5, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 6. How about 6 on the motor home? How about 6? 75, now 6. And now a quarter, now a half, 6 and a half. 6 and a half, 6 and a quarter's over here, half right here, 675 here, now 7, and a quarter, and a quarter, he's in at 7, 7 and a quarter. How about quarter, you get your book out, 7 and a quarter, now half, and now 75. How about 75, we try it again, 7 and a half over here. How about 7, 75, we go 75, 75, 75, here, now it's sort of time. 7, 15, and 8 divided, 8 is divided, okay? Hey guys, thank you for coming out tonight. Don't forget our Thanksgiving sale is going to be on Tuesday. All right, that's on the 25th, okay? 25th be Tuesday, so don't show up Thursday because there'll be nobody here besides you. All right, so we'll see you next week. We'll do Thursday next week, okay? That's right.
just under. Just under. Yeah, just under.